I think we're going to keep this one short and sweet.
Well, actually, first of all, before we look at your game, just give us your take on very quick take on.
Has this happened?
This is the position on the board.
He just played e5, yeah?
Nigel has just played e5. I don't think we've got any more moves. So, oh no, excuse me. Luke has taken on e5. So this is the position on the board. When was the last time you faced a King's Gambit, Vishy?
Well, Morozovic once bashed my head in King's Gambit. I mean, he completely caught me off guard, and I didn't have a clue what was going on, and then he basically just ran over me. And this was in '95. I don't think I can't recall facing it after that. So.
Okay. And a rapid play game or normal?
It was
normal
rapid.
Game? Rapid. Okay, so these things can happen. And Levon, when was the last time you faced a King's Gambit?
Childhood, probably.
Childhood. And how did they go?
Can't remember really.
Okay, so what's your take on this position?
If I had lost, I would have remembered. Probably things ended.
Okay, so we were just looking at the continuation, taking on g5, takes, and okay, we're playing kind of the obvious moves here. So
my hunch is black should be okay, and but that's just an instant opinion. So I have the feeling that black is okay. I mean, if Nigel played e5 against me, I would be a bit worried at the beginning, but essentially I feel that if I play a few good moves, I should be okay.
Yeah. Okay, I guess maybe we don't have to sack the piece.
Well, that would have to be the point of it, right?
Yeah, I guess so, but
maybe he's trying to play some 94.
Yeah, well, that was my other thought. Do something. I don't know if that's possible immediately. Anyway, listen, we'll let them ponder those problems, and let's take a look at your game. So you had the same opening in Moscow a few weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
Sure. And this is the well, Bishop E2 is more or less, I think, by now the Levon system. So 3 games he's already played, and
so Bishop E2. This, when did you dream this one up?
Well,
or this idea?
I think this Vishy castle, I found it in Moscow, and I was very excited to play it. Well, it doesn't really give white anything, but
it's different.
If I don't play my own line, who's going to play it?
Okay, and Vishy, I think you played knight d5 here instead of c5 in Moscow.
I mean, that was my first reaction, but essentially that's unsound.
Why is that?
Well, because my reaction with c5 and so on, my pieces are just not well placed for that kind of thing, as the game showed. He was better in the way the game went, and I think he even pointed out f5 at some point and so on. So I think c5 is the correct resource.
So it went like this.
c5, dc, queen
c5,
c7.
d7, g3.
g3, queen takes c5, queen e2. And it was just a bit unpleasant for black.
Okay.
So that was our game in Moscow, but c5 takes, bishop c4, a6. Well, obviously I could have done Vladdy's thing. Queen takes d1 and b6, what he did yesterday.
Yeah.
But Levon looked just a tad bit too eager for that. So I decided to sidestep it.
Yeah, it was foolish of me hoping that I'll get all my preparation. I should have looked at a6 more. I mean, I just thought that, when Kramnik plays something, everybody is keen on repeating, because he has the reputation of a guy who finishes off on this.
Now this is super solid, isn't it? The bishop. So there are fewer tricks in this position.
Yes, but there's actually a very specific problem. I can't play b5 without bishop d7, and bishop d7 makes my knight rather weak, because it'll run out of squares very easily. However, it's not easy for white to take advantage of this. For instance, if he went bishop e2, then I don't think I want to go knight e4, because then he will take bishop f3, and I'll have all sorts of problems. So, but here I wanted to go queen b6, let's say rook b1, and now I have time for rook fd8 because if b4 now I can play knight e4, and on the next move I'll play bishop e8 and my knight can go back if necessary, and I'm fine, I thought. a3 is important because it first stops black playing b5 b4, and now queen b6 is met by b4.
Yeah,
Or maybe even queen c2, no?
The whole secret is that if black now tries to play the obvious queen b6 at times, then after b4, knight e4, takes, I get this very important reserves, knight f5.
Ah, that's right, yeah.
Otherwise f3 wouldn't make any
b4,
sense
knight e4,
if this was possible.
and this works. So
Okay, so rook c8 instead.
rook c8. Now he can again play bishop e2.
Although here possibly queen b6 is possible.
Yeah, again same thing. Queen b6 because b4 I still have the e4 square available. So rook c1. Now again queen b6 basically gets hammered. b4 and knight f5.
Yeah, the same.
Same thing. So,
Yeah, this
but knight c4 is very exact
this was
because exactly now he cannot play queen f3 because of knight d2. And therefore I think I'm in time to get my setup.
I
So
was actually thinking to play knight f3 here. I thought it would be a better try, but then I rejected it on grounds that
maybe bishop d5?
you can simply play bishop b5 even. Yeah. I was kind of, trying to find out if this can be better for me. Bishop b5.
Take.
Take.
No way to
Yes,
exploit
this
this.
one is kind of weak for a moment. But also knight f3, there was some other move which I didn't like that I don't really.
Maybe knight f6 is also possible after knight f3.
Knight e5.
Then bishop b5. Because now my knight is ready to come to d5 and queen is also ready to come
yeah,
to
maybe
d5.
that's very, very exact.
Okay, it seems to me that in these kind of positions where the pawns have been removed from the D and C files, okay, this is very, very common in these Queen's Gambit positions, but there's a very fine line between white, getting a slight advantage and being able to press for a long time, or black equalizing, and each move is actually very subtle. So
Yeah.
there's actually a lot going on in this position.
Well, I actually thought that Vishy is trying to play knight c5 after the exchange on c1, but of course I was naive here. Yeah, because knight c5 may lead to some troubles.
Yeah, well, my whole point of knight e4 is to get rid of the one on c5. So of course I didn't want the other one to just hobble
Yeah,
there, so
bishop
I decided to go
e1.
back to f6. and
Yeah,
Okay, it's more.
I simply don't believe
solid,
that knight belongs there. But
Yeah. Sorry.
no, knight f6 because the point is he can't take control of the c file very easily.
yeah, probably rook d1 was a bad move. If I can try for something, it has to, lie some other moves. Definitely not rook d1. It's just a waste of time.
Okay.
And
Well, okay. So let's crack on with the game anyway. So rook d1, queen b6.
yeah, because I forgot about queen b6. I was thinking that I'm playing bishop c7, then
Queen a7.
Oh, queen a7. Right? Oh, I thought bishop e5, something like that would be good.
Yeah, and rook c8, queen c5 is coming up.
Yeah. I actually rejected it because of queen c5. Because at first I thought bishop c7, queen c5, and then I'll play knight b3. I thought this is slightly better for me. But or take. Sorry, not knight b3. Take, and then knight b3.
And bishop a4 what?
Bishop a. Then bishop a4, rook c1.
Bishop e3.
Yeah, bishop a3 I didn't like. I couldn't make this work. Yeah, seems that black is fine.
Okay. So the game continuation: bishop c2 and rook c8.
Yeah, queen b1.
Yeah, for a moment I was afraid that I'm losing a piece because of queen c5. But then
Sorry, which position?
Yeah, after instead of h6, queen c5. But rook c1 is a pain,
Ah.
isn't it?
No, I was thinking bishop g3, 5 knight f5 is also possible.
Okay. I thought rook c1 and then.
So e5, and we've got this, and we're hitting that one. Okay. And rook c1 you didn't.
Yeah, that's also possible.
Was it rook c1 or even b4? I didn't see how I could hold the thing. So I mean, if I go queen c3, then
Yeah, I was not.
you didn't want to weaken this, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But here maybe rook d3 is. I still have queen c4. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
black's fine. All right, so you h6 was played.
Yeah. Knight f3, bishop e8. I could go bishop c6, but then he goes knight e5, and I could play bishop d5 here maybe, because if e4 I have bishop b3 and or even bishop a2.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
quite
so-
possible.
I could have done this, but bishop e8 is equally effective.
Yeah, because the position is pretty equal. I don't really have any plan.
And the only other moment of maybe interest was bishop e5. I briefly considered queen a5. The point is now I'm threatening bishop takes f3. And if bishop c3, then queen h5. And let's say knight e5 will run into knight g4. But simply e4, and I don't think black has achieved anything. If anything, white has probably improved his position. So
Yep.
I decided to. I mean, I can also play bishop c5. It should be fine as well.
Yeah, I was planning to play rook c1.
Yeah, and my idea against rook c1 was this, and then let's say rook c6 or c7, maybe c7.
Yeah, this is fairly equal as well.
Yeah.
Also fine.
So
Okay, well, in the game, I can see there's this something called the matometer. I'm not quite sure what this actually gauges, but it's on about 0.1 out of 10.
It's how close we are to mate, Dan.
How close we are to mate? Well, yeah, it's a 0.1 out of 10. So
I think that's actually in light years as well.
yeah. Anyway, I have no idea what it means, but I think a draw seems to be a fair result, corroborated by the matometer. Okay, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.